I am here today to tell you about how I believe South Carolina's youth are facing an eating disorder crisis. Children begin developing a negative body image at a younger age than we think. Although the evidence is clear, the focus on eating disorders among children in education is not there. In South Carolina, it has been proven that eating disorders have been put on the back burner. The Har Center in South Carolina is the state's only full-functioning treatment center that treats almost all patients, including males and children of age 8. Although the center treats children, the prevention and education is lacking and therefore needs to be implemented in the school system. 8 million Americans have an eating disorder, and 95% of them are between the ages of 12 and 25. In today's South Carolina public schools, there is a significant lag in health education. The age that eating disorders are affecting the most are not being adequately informed on the dangers of eating disorders and do not have access to appropriate counseling in public schools. Children are most susceptible to negative body image and the influence of their peers at a younger age than in high school. Therefore, they should be taught about prevention of eating disorders at a younger age. This is most effective to students at the middle school level, where there is the greatest shortage of education on eating disorders and body image. In the South Carolina grade level health and safety education curriculum guidelines, as of 2011, eating disorders are only first introduced in the 6th grade, and students are only taught about the adverse effects of eating disorders. There is no curriculum noted for self-esteem and body image under the mental health content. Instead, the curriculum guidelines are created to focus on nutrition, diet, and healthy weight. Could the emphasis on weight management be hindering our youth's development of body image? Children need to be taught about self-esteem along with the goal of achieving a healthy weight to create a wholesome balance. According to the National Association of State Boards of Education, in the state of South Carolina, the Comprehensive Health Education Act Code of Laws requires a health education course each year from kindergarten to 9th grade, and then only one course in all 4 years of high school. South Carolina does not enforce any course requirements for its curriculum and does not provide a state assessment of district's public schools. Students also need an outlet in school for their questions and concerns about body image. South Carolina Comprehensive Development Guidance and Counseling Program model shows that in today's schools, counselors are present only to refer students to other specialists. Students will feel more empowered to speak up about their personal issues if there was a guidance counselor position designated for mental health regarding body image and self-esteem. The South Carolina public school system should make statewide changes to their education standards to incorporate health education on body image disorders in middle schools. There are several recommendations I would make to increase the education of eating disorders in the public school system in order to prevent disorders and negative body image. Health class curriculum needs to incorporate education on eating disorders and body image starting at ages as young as 5th and 6th grade. The curriculum should include the following: different types of eating disorders, the causes and signs of eating disorders, the prevalence of eating disorders among both men and women, the symptoms and dangers of eating disorders, including mortality rates, education on body image and self-esteem and their connection to eating disorders, and knowledge of how to receive counseling for disorders and self-esteem issues. Public schools should have a counselor that specializes in self-esteem and body image that can handle occurrences of eating disorders in middle schools. Finally, these changes can only be fully effective if they are being enforced. South Carolina needs an advisory board to oversee the public schools and administer assessments of curriculum. The advisory board must also ensure that schools are hiring sufficient staff that is eligible. Few people recognize the severity of eating disorders in children younger than teenagers, but this ignorance needs to change. Eating disorders are not just a reflection of social media's influence on viewers, but of negative body images that develop in young, vulnerable years. Education needs to be the outlet of change because children spend a majority of their time in schools and it is where they face the majority of peer influence. Many eating disorders have shown to stem from obsessions with being healthy, and the school system must recognize this issue when teaching about nutrition and exercise. It is not enough to simply create a guideline. There needs to be action taken. To make this policy most effective, there needs to be a system of regulation and follow-up in the school systems to enforce curriculum changes. We should aim to heal the problem of eating disorders before they even happen, and education can do this. If it's one thing that eating disorders don't do, it's discriminate against age. Thank you.